Are you winning, son? Yes, father. I am winning. By the way, I don't even exist. Oh. By the way, you're dumb.
Something's been meaning good. Today is gonna be a spontaneous one because I already planned out some videos after this since the last one, but you know what? I'm just gonna do a really short one instead. So I decided to check some material to see what kind of subject that I can talk about for this one. It's just some simple and short subject, and then I come across a ranked anime website kind of list where they have various top anime lists in one website. They have top anime of the year, top anime of in history, top sci-fi anime, top supernatural anime. They have all of them. These rank or these lists are
Just to suffer.
But this list is more of a community participate list where the community can come in and suggest their anime for that one particular list, and then the other people can vote for it. So the website called is rankedn.com, and one of the specific lists that I'm going to specifically talk about in this video is the 20 plus boring and slow paced anime series. Now when I look at this, I was hoping some anime to be appearing in this one, and so I clicked it, and the result was unexpected. So first of all, let's read what the admin had they stated in the description, and it wrote out: before you get mad at this list of boring animes, please know that boring doesn't necessarily mean bad here. Agree? Consider this a list of slow paced anime that aren't meant to be a full of action. Anime can be boring only during certain times, or maybe it was just more boring than you had anticipated. And now the just more boring you had anticipated was, I can fairly agree, but then anime can be boring only during certain times. It's like kind of a fallacy argument to make, because if an anime is just a boring in certain times, how come it's all of a sudden become a really boring anime just because you had that one moment with where it is really boring? But anyway, which anime bored you the most when you thought it was going to be exciting? This list includes slow anime like Mushishi, Desert Funk, and many others, which I haven't heard before and I haven't watched before. And then they added, we realize everyone has their own opinion as to what constitutes as boring, so please add any series to the list that isn't already here. If you are offended at one of your favorite shows being on the list, the best you can do is to downvote it so that it will fall to the bottom. Now, as usual in any other list or rank that is contributed by the community, usually you got some really surprising result that you really aren't anticipated, and this is exactly what I experienced when I come across this list. So yeah, let's jump right into it. So the top 10, I'm not really commenting about much because they have Glasslit, Photokano second, Technolize in third, fourth is Hexine, fifth Windows Test, which 4 out of 5 of them I haven't really watched that much. The only anime that I watch in this top 5 is Hexine, which I find it to be fairly entertaining, not that boring. It has many flaws for sure, but it was fairly entertaining. Photokano was, honestly was fucking boring as hell. Winnie Tales, never heard of it. Girlfriend Kari, never heard of it. Gundam, Reckon Gusta in G, Reckon, kinda watch it only for the first 6 episodes. Jinsei, watch it. Shadow Angels, yeah. I mean, so far it's not that bad of a pick, and I can see why some people think that the top 10 ones are boring. But then you get to the top, like around the top 20, where it gets really surprising. Now, first of all, you got number 16, which is One Piece. If you're talking about the late One Piece, then yeah, for sure. But the early One Piece was the bomb, my dude. I mean, I've stopped watching One Piece right after like the 16 episode, 100 episode, so I don't know what the fuck's happening right now, but for them to put One Piece in it, understandable, but still, like, there's better anime that can be fit on this spot rather than One Piece. And then you go to number 23, Hana Monogatari. Hi, you know your boy is a Monogatari fan, so if I see Hana Monogatari in it, I got pissed off, mate. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Monogatari so much that I can do the fucking Nyan rhyme or the Nyan tongue twister in just one fucking go. Let's go. Nyanya menyo, nyanya junya, do nyanya rabi, do nyanya kunyi, nyanya kunyanya, nyanya da, nyanya kunya rabete, nyanya rabi. Fuck, let's go, bitches. Fuck my dick. I mean, yeah, in all honesty, Monogatari is not an anime where all people can really get into, because it's all dialogues, it's all about the content, it's all about talking a lot of shit. Most of the anime is not particularly boring because it is boring, but because of, you know, it's not as your typical shonen anime with a lot of action, just like the God of High School. So yeah, I can understand how long Monogatari in it. Hyoka, really? Maoyu is not a surprising one. Canon, Lucky Star. I mean, seriously though, if you don't think that anime like Lucky Star is a tad bit interesting or entertaining, your life's either miserable or depressed. I don't know what to say. Next in the 29th spot is Dragon Ball Z, which is surprisingly as fuck because Dragon Ball Z is like the contrast. What the description have stated is that, you know, anime that, you know, have less action, but Dragon Ball is like the epitome of action shonen anime. So I don't get why. Isn't on the list either the person that will put Dragon Ball in his list are drunk or their life just, you know, he or she don't have any emotion at all, which is understandable. On the 30th spot, Planet. Bruh, you are drunk. Oh, you must be high as fuck, my dude. Like, this is where the list getting a little bit fall off, a little bit messy, because again, like right after the 25 spot or 24, 23, depends on what you're interested. Hana Monogatari, Hyoka, Maoyu, Canon, Lucky Star, Desert Punk, Dragon Ball Z. I mean, come on, man. Like, this is generally what people agree that is, you know, boring, but at least, you know, they got the vote system, so I can see that a lot of people really disagree with this list. I mean, Lucky Star got about like 172 upvote, but 253 downvote. Desert Punk like 129 downvote, 74 upvote. Dragon Ball 637 downvote, which is understandable, mate. Come on. I'm not a big fan of Dragon Ball myself, you know, but at least I can confidently admit that Dragon Ball Z is a fun and enjoyable anime to watch. And Planet, you got 227 people downvoting, which again, understandable. Like, how dare you put Planet in the list, or even Dragon Ball in this list? It's kind of a little bit of insulting, isn't it? I think people that want to put Dragon Ball anime like Dragon Ball, Planet, and Lucky Star in this list are the type of people who just want to pick fight. And then you go on further and you find Kino's Journey, which is one of my classic gems that I really stuck with until this day. Kino's Journey has changed my life. I mean, that sounds a little bit too cheesy, but yeah, Kino's Journey is just one of my most favorite, like, not just anime but series of all time. I don't know what makes Kino's Journey so interesting to me, but I found it so interesting, and I really recommend if you want some adventurous or mystic experience. Kino's Journey is the series that I can really recommend. And then you got Mushishi, which again another controversial pick, which also got a lot of downvote. Naruto, I mean, if you're talking about Naruto Shippuden or Boruto, I can understand, but the classic Naruto was the fucking bomb, man. Outbreak Company, again, why? I don't know. I don't know what Zero Violet ever gotten. My voice cracked because of how ridiculous this is. Like, seriously though, I'm not gonna mention who's. I mean, I probably have to censor it just so, you know, not to bash on them, but goddamn, man, they either have shitty taste or they just don't like what's popular, because Violet Evergarden was the shit. Bakemonogatari, yeah, understandable, but Bakemonogatari is like the best Monogatari, at least in my opinion, in the Monogatari series. Dragon Ball Super, Silver Spoon, Kimi no Todoke, this is all some drunk people pick it up and then put it in this list because it doesn't make any sense at all. Like, okay, if I have to refer to the goddamn description again, it says, before you get mad at as this list of boring anime series, please know that the boring doesn't necessarily mean bad. Consider this a list of slow-paced anime that aren't meant to be full of action. Anime can be boring only during certain times, so maybe just be boring that you're anticipated. So you got people that come here and really highly anticipated anime like fucking Planet to be so exciting with full of action. It's just really ridiculous, man. I know I'm just making up some stuff here, but they're really being vague with the description as well, so I don't know what specifically what makes an anime really that boring other than just, you know, feelings. To me, I consider an anime that's boring based off, you know, if that anime has really boring writing or really has dull character or just overall a boring story. But to say shit like can be boring only during certain times, or maybe it's just boring than you had anticipated, is not a valid point to use to rank an anime on a list or in any other list at all. It's fucking ridiculous. Okay, so moving further, then you got Mahatsukai no Yome, which is again another controversial pick. On the 42th place is Pula Maji Madoka Magica. Really, mate, really the most innovative Mahou Shoujo anime in the history of anime. You put it here. Really, mate, what are you interested in? Please tell me. The people that decided to pick Pula Magica and put it here, what do you actually watch? What is your favorite anime? I'm really curious. And then you got Lock Horizon, Steins Gate. Like, people really have to stop being controversial just for the sake of controversial. If it's controversial with meaning, I can fucking understand. Just like how my boy Eminem did it back in the old days. But just to put an anime like Steins Gate in it, you must be blind. And then you go to 45 spot, Daily Lives of High School Boys. It's a literal comedy. I think Daily Lives of High School Boys has the most random but yet crazy ass comedy in it. I don't get why. I know, like, comedy is subjective, you know, each to have their own, right? Some people think that this is funny, some people may not think this is funny, but I mean, at least you have to, somewhat see this comedic factor in Daily Lives of High School Boys that kind of works. And then you go to 46, which is Hunter x Hunter, the 2011 one. Are you fucking crazy, mate? Are you dumb? And then it ends with 47 Psychopaths. Psychopaths really on top of Hunter x Hunter, on top of Daily Life of High School Boys, on top of Pula Madoka Magica. Are you fucking seriously? Like, overall this list is just bizarre. And not in a JoJo way bizarre, but just really like bizarre. Like, I don't know what in their mind when they're trying to pick the anime that they try to put here. Kino's Journey, Naruto, Clan Knight, Dragon Ball, Desert Punk, Lucky Star, Kano no Mario is like, just god damn it, you have to be drunk or high to think that some of this anime is boring.
Last minute pinhead here. I forgot to mention one crucial point, and is that, just like comedy and horror, boring is subjective as well. Not all people will think that one certain thing is boring for all of them. Some may find it entertaining while some may find it boring. It depends on each individual preferred taste. So everything I have said in this video is based of a little bit of my personal opinion, but also the overall general on what people find something interesting or entertaining. So take everything from what I said with a grain of salt, and make your own opinion based on your personal preference. That is all.
Try to be reasonable, and to be honest with you, I can see why people think shows like Lucky Star, since not a lot of people will get into like slice of life. But I mean, and here's my problem with some of this list. I mean, not just specifically this list, like any list at all. They're so vague with what points that makes a anime better or worse than the other anime. Like, for example, right, Hyoka. I think that Hyoka has a really interesting concept as an anime. Yeah, it is slice of life, like partially slice of life, but Hyoka is a really interesting anime. I mean, It has great visual. I give applaud to KyoAni for making it so beautiful. So I don't know why they think that's boring. Maybe just me, because I'm easily amazed by anything at this point. I even love it for goddamn sake. I mean, Hana Monogatari, I can understand this. It's dialogue heavy, but then you go down and see Naruto and One Piece, and at this point, you would think that people that put this anime in this list probably just want to put it just so they can, be controversial or make people mad. And the problem with this kind of list is that it's so subjective. Everybody has their own taste. So if you want to put something in here, you gotta get some majority vote at least, right? And not just blindly pick an anime and then put it in here. I think that's my opinion. I don't know what other people think about that. That's how I think. I mean, if else, why they put Planet Dragon Ball in this list when clearly both of those two anime are like one of the most well-known or famous anime in the anime industry or community? It doesn't make any fucking sense. So again, people gotta stop to be controversial just to be controversial. I mean, if you even not just go through YouTube, right? Go search up top 10 best fight, best things. At least some of those lists, it is like in a technically critic base, which means that they look at it in the technicality and then they rank it based off that, rather than just basing off there. Oh, I think that this boring is. I think this fight is kind of boring, so that's why I'm gonna put it in the bottom. No, they analyzed the fight. They took any technicality that they can analyze, and then they determine whether that fight was good or not. I think Gigok and Mother Basement is like few tubers any that done really well, and I applaud to them, because most of the time people kind of rank it based off their emotion, like, oh, I feel this and I feel this anime is this, and that's what I'm gonna put here, or I feel this anime is kind of shit, so I have to put it down. They don't usually base it off of technical aspect of it. Like, I get it, some of your enjoyment will affect your judgment for sure, but to be this blind is fucking ridiculous. So yeah, that is all from me. If you enjoy, if you don't, whatever. I see you next time. I hope you enjoy your life despite what problem you have. Sayonara, matanen. Bye bye.
僕らバカになって宙を待って今だけを忘れてラタタ踊り明かそうこの夜を明かそう涙を干して眠るように嘘になってしまわぬように僕じゃない僕にもラタタ最低な憂鬱な日ですね君と